Make Luigi's Mansion scary again. Some people might argue with me that Luigi's Mansion was never scary. It was always a game made for kids that starred one of the Mario brothers in order to save the other brother at the end of the game, and this was never meant to scare children. But I can tell you for sure, as a kid, this game freaked me out. Luigi's Mansion for the original GameCube is definitely not a lighthearted game. The whole atmosphere and everything around this game, including the vibes, is just deep and dark and scary compared to really any other Nintendo game we've gotten. Really, any Mario game for sure. Luigi's Mansion had a different tone to it, a different vibe, and it didn't feel like any of the other two games. The first thing you'll probably notice right away is the music is different. I do appreciate some of the new tones and tunes that we've gotten in Luigi's Mansion 3, where 2 was just a repeat of Gloomy Manor's theme over and over again, but for Luigi's Mansion 1, you would hear the Dark Hallways theme for the most part every single time you enter a new area in the mansion. But some rooms that you enter with ghosts that inhabit them will play various different tunes, and most of them are very creepy and strange feeling, and it actually gets your skin crawling a bit. I mean, literally just listen to some of these. And these are just some of the soundtracks used in this game. Some of them are still catchy, but it's catchy in a creepy way. There's no uplifting music. This is meant to be a dark, scary, somber feeling game, and the music comes through and portrays that perfectly, even in rooms that don't have music at all. There are some rooms, especially when you turn all the lights back on in a specific area, you get no music, and I feel like some people will obviously complain about this in today's standards. Rooms without music in a video game? That just sounds strange, but it actually works so well in a game like Luigi's Mansion, where it's meant to portray that feeling of loneliness, of isolation, where it's just you and your vacuum. You also have EGAD that calls you every now and then, but it's nowhere near as bad as the second game. But I guess what I'm saying is sometimes no music is good music, and it portrayed that scary sense of a mansion filled with creepy ghosts trying to all kill Luigi. It was a great feeling and something that really did help to add to the theming of the game. But it's not just the sound design that makes this game so creepy, it's also the way the game looks. The game was a very dark game, not just in the sense of it being scary, but literally with its lighting, it was dark. Luigi's flashlight was literally needed in certain areas because it was so dim and it was so dark, where in the modern games, I feel like lots of the areas are very much lit up and you can see everything as you're walking around. I feel like Luigi's Mansion 3 definitely takes it to more of a realistic approach, but I kind of like that dark, gloomy feeling of the original mansion, and I feel like that's where it comes down to, what Luigi's actually exploring. In Luigi's Mansion 3, he was exploring a giant fancy hotel with tons of different themed rooms, which wasn't necessarily supposed to be this creepy, dark, decrepit building. Instead, it was a giant fancy hotel filled with windows that was shining light in almost every single room and floor. Like they were trying to convince me that literally ghosts could spawn in this room, where all the lamp fixtures are on and there's just light shining through the windows. Nothing about this room feels dark and creepy to me at all. It just feels like a game that I'm about to play with some ghosts as they're fighting over food. And this is coming from somebody who absolutely adored Luigi's Mansion 3's floor design. I thought it was done really well. It's just too many floors were just way too well lit. I feel like they needed to be darker. Not even for 1 second did I ever feel a sense of creepiness. One of my favorite parts about the original is when the power goes completely out, making every single room in the hotel completely dark, and just completely filled with ghosts that can pop up and spawn at any second. This added to that traumatic experience for Luigi. You actually felt for him. You could understand why he's so scared, where in some of the modern games, I'm like, Luigi, relax. Why are you afraid? All the lights are on. I think ghost design also plays a big role as well, where the ghosts aren't meant to be friendly little goofy kids playing around the hallways and messing with each other and just being clumsy. No, they're out to completely scare Luigi. Not a single ghost is messing around. They're all trying to scare Luigi by popping out of the walls, jump scaring you at every corner. These are the ghosts that I kind of want to see return, where in Luigi's Mansion 2 and 3, the ghosts just seem like kids who love to play around with Luigi, and their main task is just to mess with him. I mean, sometimes the ghosts wouldn't even attack Luigi directly, instead just kind of knock him over with something. And yeah, it'll give you a couple ha-has, but it never does feel creepy or scary, even in the slightest. Not a single ghost form from 2 or 3 really even looked creepy either. Now, some of you guys might be wondering what I'm talking about then. What do I want Luigi's Mansion to do in the 4th game? I like the theming of the worlds, I like the moveset that they gave Luigi, and I really just enjoyed all the portrait ghosts and boss ghosts from 1 and 3, so really my only thing I think I'd change is just the atmosphere of whatever we're exploring this time around. Maybe it should go back to more of a creepy, decrepit mansion or something else that's really creepy and old, and actually tone down the lighting, tone down the humor, and make the ghosts actually scary. Something that I always really enjoyed was what they showed off in the Simon and Richter Belmont trailer, because it was one of the creepiest things we've ever gotten from Nintendo. It showed Luigi running through an old decrepit castle and running from all types of creepy enemies and bosses from the Castlevania series, and it blended so well because it did kind of feel like that first game. It was actually much creepier than the first game. I don't necessarily need anything like this. This is like taking it to a whole nother genre of gaming. They can still keep it Mario friendly or within the Mario universe, but the lighting and the thunderstorm in the background and just Luigi being terrified, it's that type of thing I really want to see again. I really want Nintendo to get back to making us feel like Luigi is terrified, because you felt like him in the first game. You could actually understand and relate why he was so scared. I couldn't really see why he was so terrified at times in the second game, and especially not the third game. I mean, genuinely speaking, if I was in Luigi's place in the third game, there'd be very few times I think in the entire game I would be terrified of anything. But look, you guys probably know on this channel by now that I love Luigi's Mansion 3. I was a big Luigi's Mansion 1 supporter all the way until 3 came out, and 3 is definitely my favorite in the series. In fact, it's one of my favorite Nintendo games of all time. I absolutely adore that game, but I still think it would be perfect if it just kept some of the creepy nature that the first game had, and it's something that unfortunately I don't think is going to return. Luigi's Mansion 3 was so massively successful, and I think people are getting used to that new form of Luigi's Mansion, and unfortunately I don't think we're going to see that dark, creepy side of the game probably ever again. It's appealing to more of a younger audience, and I get it to a point, but still, I'm always going to miss what they did with the first game. It just felt so different and unique at the time. It's something that's just definitely different for the series and something that I loved growing up as a kid. It always made me feel rebellious because I wasn't allowed to play any creepy games or anything like this, so this was definitely as far as I could go. So the original Luigi's Mansion will always have that special creepy place in my heart. But let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you think Luigi's Mansion should be scary again, or do you like what they're doing right now with Luigi's Mansion 3 and the path that they're on? Definitely let me know in the comments down below, and make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out. And like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys. Did I get you? See, that's Luigi's Mansion right there. Sorry, I'm probably terrified half the kids in America with that part. All right, thanks guys for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.